Okay, so I am finally making my video of the head unit that I installed in the vehicle. This is a Toyota 4Runner, and just to give a little bit of background, I have been doing car computers for about 10 years. The technology has come a long way. I mean, it used to be very low quality screens and different solutions and laptops and different types of monitors and keyboards, and now we have the technology to have Android units right in the vehicle, which is very, very nice. As far as the technology is just really impressive. I did a lot of research on these before I purchased one. I really wanted to be 100% sure that all the bugs would be worked out and I wouldn't have any lag and just issues that I'd be concerned about. And overall, I'm pretty happy with this one here. So I will leave a link in the description for where I purchased it and where you can purchase it. They're going for about $250 right now. It's the RK3188 chip. It's got 16 gigs of memory on the internal, what they call the NAND drive, and it has external SD cards in the front, 2 of them, as well as 2 USB inputs, and all the specs are there. So what I really want to go through is some of the functionality and some of the stuff that I do with it that I really enjoy. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and boot it up from scratch. I'll hold this down and it'll shut down. Now, as you can see, the logo comes up right when you start up the vehicle or the unit, and the good thing is the rear view camera is accessible while it's booting up, which is it's handy and it works well. So by the time the unit boots and you're driving, it will come up in about 20 or 30 seconds and load up your GUI. This unit comes with a different GUI than what you're seeing here. This is a Custom Rom that you can find on the XDA forums, which adds a couple of features and changes the look a little bit. It's been pretty fun so far. I like it. The original ROM and the interface for it was pretty clean and honestly was nice, but there are a few extras that were added to this which make it a little bit more robust. But if you are just going to use it casually and don't want to update the firmware and do rooting and that, I would say just leave it alone. So basically it's a fully functional Android GUI. You can adjust some of the equalization here, fader effect. You've probably seen these on other videos. The graphics on these are a little bit different now with this custom firmware. Now, I want to go over some of the other features that are a little bit quirky as far as getting, for example, the OBD2 communication. I always have to open Torque first, let that boot up, and it usually can connect fairly quickly to the ECU, which is the communication to the vehicle. Still waiting for it to connect. Alright, so now we're connected. It's a pretty slick app, Torque. I like it, but I use another one that's a little bit nicer.
Near Boca Raton.
In the just the way it looks and stuff, and it connects right away. Once torque is connected once, then it connects pretty well. And you get some gauges on what the vehicle is up to. It takes a second to kick in usually. There it is. You can see the different graphs and gauges about engine power, cooling temperature. There's some really neat gas mileage, fuel economy stuff that you can get, some just neat info on the vehicle that you don't usually get from your standard analog gauges, and that is working pretty well, and I'm honestly pretty impressed with it overall. This is a launcher called Car Home that lets you just kind of launch apps, kind of shortcuts, and gives you a speedometer and a compass and a little bit of weather, which I use. Now, let's see what other functions. I keep getting this little pop-up that one of the services that is running on the exposed framework is failing. So that's part of the Custom Rom that I put on there, and a bug, I guess, that needs to be worked out. Your music player is pretty nice. There's some animation and stuff there, which is neat. You can pick out, I've got external drives plugged in here with tons of music. There's also a video app which works pretty well, and you can watch, I like to watch concerts and DJs and things, so it's not really distracting like a movie while you are driving. So this is the next launcher that comes with the Custom Rom. It has a lot of customization and kind of custom icons and neat things to customize and explore. You can add all sorts of widgets, basically just like any other Android. Now, one of the features that is also very interesting is it lets you connect your phone. What it does is it projects your phone via USB cable to the screen, and it lets you control it, and basically just like your phone was in the dash, and it actually works pretty well once you connect it. There's a little bit of you have to accept the encryption for the USB debugging and sync it up, and then after that it works fairly well. I'll go ahead and show the radio if you want to see that. It's actually pretty neat. It's got a little kind of groovy animation also, and it works. I don't really listen to the radio, but it's a neat thing obviously to have. And one of my main concerns was the quality of the audio, obviously, on this unit, which I'm pretty happy with. There's some neat weather stuff here too that happens. You get some nice weather info and hour by hour and wind and all sorts of good stuff. Now, there's tons of ways you can configure this. There's a little meter here that gives you your bandwidth. There's all your settings, just like Android, that you would have on a tablet or phone. And it does have preamp outputs for the amplifier and the audio subwoofer, so that's handy. There's also video input for TV, DVD, whatnot. I'm actually going to try to hook up my rear camera to it, maybe, so that I can just kind of check what's behind me while I'm driving. The camera only works when you are in reverse at the moment because it powers up that way. Let's see. That's pretty much it. You're going to be able to do anything that you can do on your phone, like Google Music, Pandora, whatever else is you're into. And again, the screen quality seems really quite good. The build quality is good. We've got a couple of buttons here and a knob, which people like the knobs, and it is convenient. However, you will have people reaching up to turn your music down quite often, and that's kind of a bummer. So maybe knobs are not that good. Maybe it's better to have something more discreet, and they do kind of get in the way a little here of your view, but overall it's nice. I'm happy with it. I appreciate the Chinese are hopping on these sort of technologies, and they're kind of ahead of the curve, because there's really nothing available from the mainstream manufacturers in this type of unit for the price. And that is all. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, let me know. I installed it myself. It is fairly standard, just blue with blue, green with green, red with red. Put it all together, and it was a lot of work. I did it all myself. I did the speakers, the amplifiers, subwoofer, reverse camera, and everything else on my own to save some cash. And I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out overall. Thanks.